Hey guys, back with a quick look at the market, and today of course we have the news about CPI, so inflation data coming in from the US, but also quite some significant stuff around Chinese equities as well. So first of all, if we're looking at the US equities, we see that small caps and growth stocks are outperforming, up 1.6%. So that is quite unusual, something we haven't seen quite a bit in the last days and weeks. And this one might be just the reason we have the core inflation rate year over year coming in at actual 6.5%. The consensus was 6.6%, and the inflation rate year over year is at 8.5, a little bit more than the consensus of 8.4. Of course, a high inflation, but maybe the market has anticipated much worse, and I think there is kind of a views that we are seeing inflation peaking. We still have one more Fed speech today coming in, so that might be still volatile. And then tomorrow we will have some trade data around China, so that might be interesting for Chinese stocks as well. Speaking of Chinese stocks, Hong Kong was largely green overnight. And we can see here via the Stock Connect northbound, there was a lot of volume coming in here. And so what has triggered this? Well, maybe it was this news that I've just posted in a Patreon network actually already yesterday, and this is also translated by the CSRC, a statement on further developing and supporting a healthy environment for listed companies. And this is not only for mainland companies, but all of the Chinese listed companies. And one important factor here was that this is point 4, they said, improve the institutional mechanism that is conducive to long-term institutional investors to participate in the capital market, encourage and support social security, pension, trust, insurance and wealth management institutions to allocate more funds to equity assets, increase capital market investment, especially high-quality listed company stock investments. So an official statement by the CSRC in China that actually institutional investors should engage more in the capital markets and buy more Chinese shares of those companies listed, maybe in the mainland, maybe in Hong Kong, maybe overseas. And this is maybe in a stark contrast to what we usually get presented in the media around that China is getting off the path of capitalism or capital markets in general. And instead, it seems like they want actually more of a market participation also of their funds and their pensions actually. And that could be, as I have previously actually also pointed out, the change that is happening after Evergrande, that China was too reliant on real estate and actually now needs to make a shift also to a more functioning capital market and having an alternative where large parts of the savings of the population can actually go. And so this entire statement was pretty supportive and positive in nature. If you want to have a look at this, you can of course join the Patreon community. And then another factor that may have benefited Chinese stocks in general overnight was if we're looking at Shanghai COVID cases, and that is here the blue line, and the days that this spread is going right now in comparison to Hong Kong, that you can see here in yellow. You can see that now we have the first dip, actually minus 10% in new cases today, and actually also that this is a far less steep curve than in Hong Kong. It's not a big of a spike, so you can think of zero COVID what you will, and I'm personally not too happy about this policy. But anyways, you can see that the curve is less explosive. That's what they're trying to do with all of these lockdowns. And so it seems that if they can kind of contain the spread of the virus, then we should actually see hopefully a steep fall off of this curve as well. And then it's easier to control. Of course, that's the goal ultimately. And so that may weigh in positive also for Chinese equities today. And so this may explain why today was one of the largest inflows or purchases by foreigners of Chinese stocks, as well as possibly from the mainland coming to the stock connects to Hong Kong and so on. Is this the beginning of a trend? I don't know yet. We have to watch these kind of signals even further. Anyways, I hope you find it informative. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and so we can take this channel to 50K maybe by the end of this month. That would be awesome. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.